Masterpiece Soundwave. Hey, what's up again, everybody? Robert184, 2Rs2Bs, gundam.tk, continuing my look at Masterpiece Soundwave from Takara Tomy, MP-13. You've already seen the unbox and its robot mode. Now it's time to take a look at Condor, Laserbeak, and all of the other features from the MP parts that are going to be included. Here's Laserbeak again in his tape form, and if you want to transform him, first of all, you can see on the back that the head is going to pop out there. But if you want to make it easy, it's not a button per se, but you're just going to actually free the head. And when you do that, you can bring that forward, which is going to look great. And then it's time to take the sides here, and these are going to bend up and in, and you can see that they're going to come in close to the center there, which is going to make them look very impressive. Bend those up, and then you can get the tail fins up here as well, and you can start to see him taking more and more shape. You can take the wings here, bend them into place, and bend them down, and you can see that they're going to bump into the feet there, but not in a bad way. Already he's looking pretty cool. Take the feet here, and you can bend them down, and then when you do that, you can rotate them into position. If they're going to call it robot mode, well then so am I suppose here. Condor, Laserbeak, looking fantastic, and very, very true to his anime form, something that the original cassette, although ingenious as it was, just can't quite stack up to. You're going to want to be a little bit careful here for the transformation, as I lost some of the red and silver paint. Anyway, you'll just want to be careful with that. However, the wings are swept back at a very cool looking angle. You've got the boosters and the blasters. Everything there is looking great. The fact that it's included is just a huge plus, and you're not going to have to go scrambling for things. The head is going to come up at a cool angle, and the fact that it's actually not just very skinny is actually going to help really set it apart, and the legs can be perched at various angles underneath. So for articulation here, you're going to be able to bring Laserbeak's head up and down, and it's actually going to bend here. And if you saw it there, I had pulled it out that there's going to be a secret camera, a spy cam in there, maybe worth putting a dollop of paint on there if you want to. And in terms of the wings, they're not going to go up and down here, but because you can take the legs here, which are going to rotate very, very well this way, and you can set them like this, then because of that, even though this is used in the transformation, you can have the wings come down here, so already it's setting itself apart from its G1 predecessor in a very cool and stylish way. And of course, it's all important to see how it's going to look with an actual cassette inside. You just take it, drop it in down there, plug it in, and there you can see some of the details there from Laserbeak. And the cool part about having more than one cassette on the inside is that even if you do launch out the first one and put Laserbeak up on the shoulder or on the arm, that you'd still have the internals being shown off, and it's not just going to be an empty cavity when his one cassette is out like it was on the old school toy. And when they're both in robot mode, if you take a look at the bottom of his feet here, you can see that you're going to have these slits, and if you take a look at Soundwave's shoulder, there's going to be 5 of those lines up there. And again, because of the fact that you've got the ability to rotate the ankles around, you can do some fun stuff with that, but most importantly, if you actually just put him on the shoulder there. But seeing Condor properly perched there, not going to go falling off, you're going to have to adjust him to get him in position properly, but nonetheless, once he's there, and the fact that you can actually bring his body up and down, means that you're actually going to have a few different things that you can do to display him, all of them looking cool, and all of them looking exactly accurate to the anime. And if that's not cool enough for you, there's a clear raise section down here on both of the forearms, and before the red seal begins, that's going to go wrapping around it. And as Starscream and Megatron gather around, Condor is going to come back, perch himself on Soundwave's arm, and report to them all what the Autobots are up to, and he's going to look very good doing it. For some other fun accessories, what's the opposite of a Chekhov's gun? Because these things never were introduced with any precedent. But basically, you can take the hands there, just fold them inside, seal that up with a nice snap, and then you can take the sensor part here where you're going to have those 2 pegs, which are going to plug in here, and you can have something that, well, it's going to look okay. But something that seems like a lot more fun is producing Energon here. All you have to do is pop off the cap, and it's going to go and fit very nicely in very snugly into that chest compartment, and you can just see that everything's going to work out there. And from the side, you can see that it's going to protrude, but in a cool, very visually interesting looking style. And because the arms have half-decent posability, you can actually have them hold the cube as it comes out although even if you don't have anything attached to it, you're not going to have any weight issues. Other goodies from the Masterpiece include just papers or scans that you can take or cut them out from the manual. You're just going to come and drop these into the back, and when you do that, you just attach this on, and even though it's going to double the width here of the actual panel there, it's still going to look pretty cool and actually have a bit of a 3D textured effect. And random gibberish is going to look the same today as it did in the original G1 cartoon. The Megatron gun is going to fit all right into the hand. You're not going to have any pegs to hold it in like you do with the regular concussion blaster, but because you can have those 3 fingers come down, it actually feels like it's going to stay in place. But the trigger finger, even though they seem to indicate in the manual that it's actually going to go in there, it's not really, and if you do, you're just going to offset it, so you're probably better off keeping the trigger finger outside and just keeping a firm grasp with the 3 fingers. Brought across the chest, a 2-handed hold is not really going to be in the cards there. As you can make out, the thumbs there, because they're not going to move, are not really going to help it. And you can see the insides of the 3 fingers down there are going to look a little bit ugly when you actually bring the finger up, which is the only real point of contact there. Still, the idea is looking pretty cool, and Megatron is looking somewhat menacing if you're looking at it from the right angle. And what is that angle? Well, it was pretty much any time was okay in the actual cartoon. It wasn't until the movie where you did not want to see that in Starscream or Soundwave's hands as they boarded your shuttle. And just to be totally silly, here he is with every feature of the Master Grade on there, except for the cassette case. The sensor is going to be plugged into the back, Laserbeak perched on his shoulder, concussion blaster in hand, Megatron in the other one, and you can see the display panel there with the cutout paper and the Energon cube. The only thing that's missing would be some Amazon extra pink ones. Lots of fun features here, befitting of the name Masterpiece. So anyway, everybody, why don't you let me know what are your favorite, which ones don't you like, and of course stick around to see the transformation and final thoughts. Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya. Rob Lucci.